Before we get into today's Chiefs report, make sure to hit that subscribe button because we'll have you covered with the latest Chiefs news, rumors, updates, free agency, draft coverage, tons of other stuff as well throughout the entire NFL offseason. We had you covered when Anthony Hitchens got cut, when Eric Bieniemy returned, and with the return of Matt Nagy, we'll have more news and rumors to hit you guys with as well. Let's keep growing this channel. Across 27,000 subs last week. Next milestone is 28K, so go ahead and subscribe. You're watching the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. On today's show, we're going to take a look at 4 players the Chiefs could cut to clear out some salary cap, create more space. And this, of course, comes on the heels of cutting Anthony Hitchens just last week. So you kind of look at the outlook here. Chiefs currently have over $11 million in cap space. That comes after Anthony Hitchens got cut to save almost $8.5 million. So the 11.2 does factor that in. And Kansas City will likely restructure some contracts to create more cap space and will likely cut more players as well. Some of the restructures, of course, could include Patrick Mahomes. You could restructure Frank Clark. He's certainly a top cut candidate. We'll get into him and others in a moment. But Brett Veach and this front office will certainly look for different ways to create some cap space this offseason so the Chiefs can add more talent to this roster. Like I mentioned, Anthony Hitchens was already released a week ago to clear out some cap space, so he will not be returning to the Kansas City Chiefs. We, of course, wish him the best moving forward. Now, with Hitchens already gone, name a player that the Chiefs should cut this offseason, whether it's from a financial standpoint or just you're tired of this player and you want him out of town. Let me know, and then we'll take a look at 4 players Kansas City could cut. All right, the first one up here, and it's really an obvious one, is Frank Clark. As we take a look at our Chiefs cut candidates on today's video, you kind of look at what Clark has done since being traded to the Chiefs before the 2019 season. Had a good first year here. Not great, but good. 8 sacks, 12 tackles for loss. Was tremendous in the playoff run and in Super Bowl 54 in that victory. So, you know, that alone probably made the trade and the contract worth it. But you see the decline in production, just 6 sacks in 2020, 4.5 last year. He's getting better, not worse. And he's paid to be a premier pass rusher. And when it comes down to it for Frank Clark, his production, it doesn't match up the contract. He's overpaid for how much he's producing at this point in his career. And had it not been for how he played in that Super Bowl run, you'd be looking at this trade and this production as a loss for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I won't call it a loss because you got a Super Bowl out of it, and he was a reason why you won that Super Bowl. But his cap hit of over $26 million is too much. I would cut him and save the $12.7 million. Yeah, now, look, you know, the $13+ million in dead cap money, it's not ideal, but if I can get $13 mil just like that by cutting him, I'm doing it. I can find someone more productive than Frank Clark for $13 million, or I could go with quantity. I could sign 2 or 3 players to help fill out this roster. I just don't think the juice is worth the squeeze at this point, so I would cut Frank Clark to clear out the 12.7. What would you do should the Chiefs cut Frank Clark? Type C for cut him. Type K for keep him. Get your votes in. Let me know. Should Kansas City cut Frank Clark to clear out $13 million this offseason? Next up, Nick Allegretti, the offensive lineman, the guard who has some center flexibility, who a couple of years ago started pretty much the entire season, but when Brett Veach last offseason made it a point to revamp this offensive line, Allegretti kind of got lost in the fold. You know, he's a quality backup, certainly, but you kind of look at this unit. Sure, Orlando Brown's a free agent, but he's going to be back. The rest of the unit's going to be back. You've got your starting 5 for the foreseeable future with all these guys under contract for a long time. Except for Brown, and again, I expect the deal to get done there. At worst, he'll play on the franchise tag. I value Allegretti. He's a good backup, but you can save almost $1 million if you cut him. The Chiefs like Andrew Wiley. They could bring him back, and he's certainly higher on the pecking order than Allegretti. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say $1 million is a ton of money, but, you know, you cut a few of these guys that save you $1 million, then all of a sudden it adds up to maybe a starting player elsewhere. So, you know, I would consider this. He doesn't have much time left on his rookie contract. We'll see what happens this offseason. Now, someone you're never going to cut, in my opinion, is Patrick Mahomes. And if you guys want to spend money in a proper way, $90, chatsports.com/MahomesRed. You can pick up this red Mahomes jersey right now, Nike Authentic NFL licensed jersey here, chatsports.com/MahomesRed. That link will be in the comments. It'll be in the description of this video. Pick up a jersey today and represent QB1 this offseason and on into next season. Another cut candidate, how about Khalen Saunders, the defensive tackle who has shown signs of life at times, but he's been inconsistent. He's had some injury issues, and we've talked about this quite a bit. The Chiefs might just completely overhaul the defensive line. Outside of Chris Jones, I don't think that anybody is guaranteed to return on this unit. Sure, like young guys like Michael Danner are going to be on the roster because they're cheap and whatnot. But a guy like Khalen Saunders entering the last year of his rookie contract, he could be a cap casualty. I think that's very much a possibility. We talked about Frank Clark. He's probably going to be gone, in my opinion. Jaron Reed, Melvin Ingram are free agents as we look at the depth chart here. And I just don't think that that's going to change anytime soon. Outside of Chris Jones, I don't expect anything is a given on this defensive line, and cutting Saunders again saves almost another $1 million, which isn't a ton, but certainly does factor into these type of decisions. So I think it's possible. I think it's something to consider, and if he's not a part of the long-term future, then cutting him to save the $990K might make some sense. And then last up, and this one would be more of a surprise, that's Juan Thornhill. Now, let me just preempt this by saying I would not cut Juan Thornhill. I would not do this for a couple reasons. Number one, I'm still high on his potential. Number two, Tyrann Mathieu is a free agent, and if you don't re-sign him, you literally have no safeties under contract, at least no proven ones. So I would not do it for those reasons. But the Chiefs could look at this and say, okay, Juan Thornhill's had some injury concerns. His best year was his rookie year. We may not re-sign him. He's entering the last year of his deal. Why not cut or trade him? Now, I think trading him would probably be the route to go, but you could cut him if you want the instant cash and save almost $3 million. Not a ton of money, but a decent amount. Again, I can read the comments now. You're crazy. I'm literally saying I would not do this. I'm saying that it's a possibility if the Chiefs want to clear out some cap. I wouldn't do it if I was in charge, but I'm not in charge. That's why we're mentioning him here. I wouldn't expect this. I don't think it's going to happen, but I do think there's at least a tiny chance that it could. Would you cut Juan Thornhill? Type Y for yes. Type in for no. Get your votes in down in the comments. Again, I would not, but maybe some of you guys would on this one. All right, just to recap, these are 4 Cap Cup candidates after Anthony Hitchens was released last week. Frank Clark, that's the big one, obviously, can save almost $13 million. Nick Allegretti and Khalen Saunders can each save you almost $1 million. And then Juan Thornhill could save you about $2.8 million. We'll see how creative Brett Veach gets with the salary cap this offseason. But certainly they will look to clear out some space with cutting some players, potentially some trades, and, of course, restructuring some other contracts like Patrick Mahomes as well. So we'll have you guys covered with the latest on that front all off-season long. That's why you guys need to subscribe, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. No one, and I mean no one, will have more Chiefs news and rumors and updates like we will here at the Kansas City Chiefs Report. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button for more videos.